Welcome to the Job Fair, where we give job seekers and employers the space to tell their own stories and bring our listeners along for the ride. We're your hosts, Doug and Shauna. Let's dive into it.
Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of the Job Fair.
Hey everyone, lucky sevens today. Let's go. All right, so for today's topic, we're talking all things career pivots. For many reasons, it's become more common than ever to change your professional path. We want to just help demystify what that process looks like.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about this topic because I feel like it's become somewhat of a new norm lately, to the point where I feel like it's almost strange to not hear someone say that they've had a career pivot at one point or another.
Yeah, it's crazy how it's definitely the new norm. It's like, who's actually picking a career path and sticking to it?
It's true.
Yeah, but seriously, whether you feeling unfulfilled, maybe you were a casualty of a layoff war, or just decided to go all in on chasing that lifelong passion, a career pivot could be your golden ticket. All right, so let's get on into it.
No, it's time. Agree to disagree.
My bad. Let's do it. All right. The career economy is still alive and well.
Oh, good one. Alive and well and kicking. I mean, it's been so interesting.
All right, so you agree?
Yeah, I mean, yes, agree. I mean, for sure. Strongly agree. I'll go. I don't normally go strongly agree, but yes, definitely. I mean, ever since the past couple of years, it's boomed. And even now, I mean, people are rich, making a lot of money. So definitely agree.
I agree. I believe that it is still alive and well. There are, I'm going to give this one an agree, because while it is still in effect and we're seeing a lot of full-time content creators, we are also seeing a lot of pullback by these social media companies and these programs that compensate, monetization programs from like TikToks and Facebooks. So I think that is contributing, but I don't think that's the bread and butter for a lot of these content creators. I think it's brand partnerships and affiliate sales. So yeah, I'll say I agree.
Okay. It's, strongly agree and agree. Still a win. All right. The next one. The daytime talk show format is still relevant.
You know, Shauna, I don't watch that much TV. However, I do know and I do remember a time when daytime talk shows were it. They were everything. Yeah. And I just don't feel like right now that is the case. What do we have now? What, The View? I mean,
I don't even know if that's is that daytime or morning? I don't know. I don't keep up with it either. Similar to you.
Yeah. There's no more Donahues. There's no more Ricky Lakes. There's no more Jerry Springers.
Man, Ricky Lakes. Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't put all the weight here, but like when Ellen kind of went off air, the Ellen show, it really, I not that I started to pay attention toward the end anyways, but maybe just because I'm older and, I'm working all day and I'm not able to watch. So that's what makes it not feel relevant. However, I do think there is a large population of folks who are home during the day that have something on in the background or who might watch a little more religiously every day. So I don't know if I could really agree or disagree with this one because it's just not in my wheelhouse anymore.
Nah, pick a side. What's your gut telling you, Shauna?
I mean, I'm going to have to say it's still relevant because, I mean, if it's still on air, it's still pulling in viewership. There's still a lot there. Just because I don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So I'll go with that. I disagree. I mean, I agree. It's still relevant.
All right. Yeah. Looks like we're opposing on this one because my final answer is disagree. All right. I think it's just kind of migrated to other formats as far as influence. All right. Personal fashion still matters as much as it did pre-COVID.
Yes, I think personal fashion will always be a part of someone's personality and part of their branding, pre-COVID or not pre-COVID. I think that with remote work, for some folks who do work from home, you might not bring a lot of that same flair, but I still think that when you're out and about in the world, you're still even representing that, even in remote. So yes, still very much matters. I'm going to go and agree. Not strongly, but I agree. Yeah.
And I'm going to go strongly agree here. I think that it might even matter more because in these post-COVID times, we're seeing folks really value those experiences in person a lot more. And like you said, we want to really make a mark and express ourselves through our fashion sense. And we're seeing a lot. Well, I'm seeing a lot in my travels, more folks taking risks and pushing boundaries with fashion, at least here in New York. So, yeah, I strongly agree.
Cool. I mean, and it's great to see, right? Obviously, people taking those. Definitely. Yeah, I love it. Me too.
The roaring 20s.
All right. Bringing us home. So tiny homes, RV living will eventually go mainstream in the U.S.
I disagree. Okay. I just think that we are consumers in this country. And as long as we have, the average person has this inventory of stuff and is not a minimalist, it's just not going to be feasible. We are seeing smaller family sizes and more people deciding to not have children or pushing it way out. But still, I just think we're too big shoppers still.
Yeah, I mean, I think the housing market in general, or real estate, I could see that. I'm going to agree with you and disagree with this statement that I don't think it will eventually go mainstream. However, I would question if it isn't already somewhat mainstream. I do know some folks that have tiny homes in their backyard, I guess, as like secondary homes, but I guess that could be different. But I honestly,
No,
with the way that the
niche.
economy,
I think what's happening now is almost like a cult following or underground movement, but mainstream. I don't think we're there yet.
I mean, let's call it what it is, though. It really comes down to people's financial situations, too. Mm-hmm, so, yeah.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. Well, as always, wrapping up another agree to disagree. As we both mentioned before, we're both pretty excited about this topic today. It feels very relevant for me. Might get a little bit of passionate conversation from me on it, but let's kind of dive into career pivoting. So it's top of mind for me, especially as someone who has taken, I would say, the last couple of months to really understand what I wanted next in my career journey. And so I feel like let's just break this open.
Yeah, absolutely. Without further ado. All right. So let me ask you, when you think of the term career pivot, what exactly does that mean to you?
Yeah, that's a good question because it can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. For me, how I would kind of bucket that is choosing a new industry where you can bring your skill set and talents and apply them, but in an industry you haven't been in before, or changing a specific field. For example, once was a product manager moving over to being a designer or a software engineer, or completely different, maybe just going completely on the business side, maybe in finance or something. Or it could be just something as simple as taking a step in what feels like a backward step in title or a smaller company if you were at big companies. And that would allow you to hopefully learn and maybe slingshot forward faster as opposed to staying in the same path that you're on and taking these incremental smaller steps up the corporate ladder. So for example, being a director and taking a manager role elsewhere at a potential company that has growth where you could be a director in 2 to 3 years, as opposed to staying at a really large FANG company for 10 years, being a manager, waiting it out to get that director title. Exactly. So I think there's a lot of different ways that you can look at it in terms of what career pivoting means.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself, Shauna. Completely agree. Great roundup. It can look very different on a case-by-case basis, person by person. But to me, it's whatever taking a big bet on a major career change looks like. That's going to put you in a long-term better position. And it can just look totally different. I will also say, I think that a career pivot is usually spurred from a key moment or a season of self-reflection.
Definitely.
Whether it's that ceiling in your current job, your interests or values evolving significantly, or just some indescribable burnout in a lot of cases that just really might smack you in the face and just say, hey, I got to change something.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you're speaking my language. I mean, for me, my growth at large companies and just latter growth in general felt stale in terms of learning or crafting my arsenal of skills. I wanted to feel inspired again. Working at large companies while working on important goals, I felt like my impact was less tangible and dynamic in some way.
Oh, yeah. You definitely can get lost in the sauce with those big companies. So I agree. I've seen both, experiencing this at larger companies, but also at smaller ones. I mean, it happens really in every professional environment. The other interesting thing that about pivots like yours, Shauna, is that you can be awakened to the fact that, hey, I'm in golden handcuffs right now and I'm deciding to break them off. Like
100%. Golden handcuffs, if folks don't know what that is, it's just being really tied to a very high paycheck. For sure, it definitely comes into play. Also, ego a little bit there too. And like I said, everyone's choices and decisions are different, and it really depends on what the goals in life are for you, as well as like those career passions. So there's nothing wrong with giving up a little bit of passion for those golden handcuffs, depending on your situation. Just because everyone's doing different things, thinking about different paths forward, and everyone's different.
For sure, for sure. Golden handcuffs look different to everyone. Personally, I value alignment with my long-term dreams and impact over a great paycheck any day.
I can't wait till someone offers you $1 million and you're gonna be like, I hate this work. Let's see what you do, Doug. Let's see.
I'm a hold true. But stability is always important and always a key consideration, I think, for any professional. But the way I'm wired, I'm just always optimistic towards, as long as I prioritize my core values and that personal alignment, I'm going to find a paycheck. That's the way I see it. So anyway, all right, now you had that aha moment, you're tempted to pivot, but how do you go about figuring out where to go?
I think there's multiple ways to do that as well, such as like identifying what it is you want. What are the skills that you have? What industries are you interested in? Where can that convert over, right? Big companies, small companies, and most importantly, what are you passionate about? Take the time, figure that out. What inspires you to want to wake up each day and do it all over again?
Clicking refresh on your current passions, values, and your ideal lifestyle is probably the best first exercise. But I agree, taking a deep and honest inventory of how strong that professional toolbox is key. All right. Understanding what kind of marketplace value you have to venture out with. And also, it feels daunting at times, but you got to also dig deep into all of your past experiences comprehensively. I'm talking hobbies, volunteer work, even those random side projects you might have done for fun. But you'll be surprised to see what kind of picture it all paints and what skills you can kind of connect dots to and will shine through in this new you.
For sure. Drawing those parallels between your pivot destination and your brief stint from 10 years ago can really add some momentum to that context. I absolutely agree. So I think you simply assess where you're able to go, where you want to go. Options may look like transferring within a same company, leaving that company, or juggling two jobs, your day job and a side job at night, contract work. That's how you build that skills. If you don't have a skill set for a specific industry, I think you have to really work for that next stream in that sense.
Yeah, and speaking for myself, look, I'm a juggler. All right.
How many plates are in this air right now,
man,
Doug?
You don't want to know. It's been ridiculous. It's been embarrassing at times. But so I've chosen to juggle in the past, aka incubate or explore my interests in a potential pivot destination by way of a side hustle or a side business. I personally wanted to lean more into sustainability. Always was a big fan of health and wellness. And I decided to start a business in that arena. Took it slow, never quit my day job, but it ended up setting me up for success in a eventual, more gradual and sustainable pivot. No pun intended.
Yeah, and I like that approach. I mean, especially for folks who need to maintain that certain level of stability in between time. However, I do think that jumping off the cliff can be a really powerful tactic to use if you're prepared for it. I do think that timing and consistency planning there, though, is key.
Yeah, planning, like a healthy emergency fund or being single with no kids.
Hold on. What is that though? Like that's 3 months. Or is it 3 months, 6 months? It's changed over time.
I think we're up to a year at this point in this economy.
Goodness. Okay. In this economy, that's true. That's true. Bread's like $7. That's true. Okay. Yeah. And then you said being single with no kids. Yeah. I mean, exactly. Or just having a high paying skill or an in-demand experience that could serve as your plan B if you ever do need to go take that step back or toward a steady paycheck for a while.
Yes. Contrary to what the extremists think, Plan Bs can be healthy. All right.
All right. So we've decided we're going to do a pivot. How do you plan that pivot now? How do you map that out? Turning it into really something that can work, takes work, right? And it definitely looks significantly different for everyone, as I keep saying. But yeah.
Whoa. I need to jump in here. All right. All right. Just want to say again, personally, I believe in networking.
Yeah.
And this is a possible future episode topic. Networking has potential to be a huge cheat code along the pivoting journey. All right. Talking to people in your target field and getting a mentor, if possible, can definitely help expedite that transition.
I agree. Especially the longer you've been in a specific area. It feels like everybody knows everybody. But remember, it doesn't have to you don't have to dive into the deep and quit your job, right? Start from zero to nothing, like kind of move, right? Transferring to another department within your current company also helps relieve a little bit of that anxiety. Starting that side hustle to build those skills, or even doing volunteer work for free can help really test the waters if you're a little nervous.
Chef's kiss on the volunteer work. I partook in it. It is absolutely awesome and really opened up tons of doors for me. Just not chasing a check. It's so freeing. It's so grounding. All right. But I digress. All right. As we discussed on episode 4, additionally, upskilling is key. All right. Because that's developing those hard skills, those hard value adds, courses, certificates, online programs. Just embracing that lifelong student mindset is really key.
And with that being said, remember that career pivots are about progress, not perfection. And it's okay to feel scared, right? But it's also exhilarating. If you're ready to create that career that you truly want, start small, take action, and get ready to reinvent yourself.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And understand this, too, that reinventing yourself can be humbling. Let me tell you. It can look like taking a few steps back, down in title and pay, as Shauna mentioned earlier. And then you can also be faced with those moments where it's just extreme doubt and anxiety and just, did I make the right decision? And then also you got to be ready to potentially re-pivot. Like, it can be a series of pivots. The word pivot is not singular.
And it can require a fair amount of grit, right? It's definitely not something to take lightly, but you're definitely not the only person. I personally can say that I'm in the same boat as you. I think once you make that decision, then you just go forward, right? Play it out as it goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, in light of today's episode lucky number 7, we want to wish all of our job seeking listeners the best of luck in this current or future pivot pursuit. I know it's tough out there. And of course, Doug and I, Job Fair, advocate for people having chances to rewrite your career stories.
We salute all of our career soldiers. And absolutely, I second everything you said, Shauna. It definitely hits home as a professional pivoter. It definitely hits home. And
that's your new title,
guys,
professional pivoter.
And don't forget, please take a second to check us out at thejobfair.com. That's FARE. Shoot us a message, learn a bit more about our story, and we'd love to have you out on our virtual set. All right, just come share your career or your company's valuable and unique journey.
Yes, that's it from us at the Job Fair for this episode. Episode 7 in the books, lucky number 7. We will be back soon. As always, Doug, it's a wrap.
Cut. Adios, amigos. Until next time.
Bye, everyone. Bye.